Hello, beautiful creatures. This is Eliza Kendall coming to you from the Blue Mountains in Australia. I am currently on Gundanada country. It is completely different energy and vibe down here. Of course, I've spent a lot of time with air and water in the northern rivers, and now I'm really grounding with a lot of fire and earth right now. So happy eclipse and full moon. I'm wondering how you navigated that time. Personally, I have been having a wonderful experience of very deep foundational clearing and cleansing in the last couple of days under the light of the full moon in the eclipse, surrounded by my family members. I held a ceremony for my family for the first time. In some ways, I exposed myself to the members of my family, my nieces and nephews and my brother. My sister-in-law, she's already seen me. Hi. She watches these reports. Hi, beauty. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience of allowing myself to be witnessed by my family in a shamanic clearing and healing process. And it was a profound experience. And this does bring me to something I would really like to share with you this week. So I'm going to launch right into that. I have been asked to share with you, those of you who are watching this, it is inevitable that you are way showers and therefore pioneers among your family. This may make you the black sheep, so to speak. That's a strange expression though, isn't it? Maybe we should say the white sheep. Anyway, let's not get into that. I'm going to get back on track. I've been asked to share with you on this week's report. For those of you who are watching this report, you are way showers and pioneers for your family. You are the ones who are going to be leading the way for them. And so my invitation here for you is to do that with as much grace and compassion as you can. But I first invite you to accept the fact that as a pioneer, as a way shower, you're on the front lines, and that means that you will be the one with the information. You will be the one that understands things that other people don't understand. And what does this mean? It means that sometimes we can be persecuted. It means that sometimes our boundaries can be crossed. It means that sometimes we can feel as if this knowledge and this wisdom is a burden. It means that sometimes we can be a catalyst and a trigger for other people. And so I invite you to accept the fact that this may happen for you, but know that you are like great art. The very best art, as far as I'm concerned, either brings me to tears with its beauty, or confuses me so much, or causes such a strong reaction in me that I think I really hate it. Oh, it's like, oh my God, it's really bothering me, this piece of art that I'm looking at. But what I recognize in that moment is that it is a catalyst for a change in my consciousness. It's triggering me because there's something there for me to learn and understand. And so with information often comes a great responsibility. And I invite you to carry this responsibility with as much lightness as you can, knowing that it is part of your sacred mission here on earth. It's part of your destiny, and part of why you have incarnated is to be a leader and a way shower among your family. And so the image I would like to give you for that, the metaphor and analogy I would like to give you to hopefully assist you with that is, this saying, you can't lead a horse to water. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. My invitation for you is to gently lead that horse to the water. Show it the water. Share with it how you experience the water, how you receive it, how it feels, how it tastes, how you digest it, how your body receives it, the influence and impact it has on your mind, on your emotions, on your physicality, on your energy level. Share your personal experience and personal connection and understanding of the water, but do not shove their face in it. Do not scoop it out and try and force feed it to them. Do not bring it out on a spoon. Do not bring it on a bucket and dump it over their head. Show them the water and then leave them there with it. Lay the information out. Wait for the receptivity. Yeah, again, we're using the water metaphor. Water is the most receptive element. Wait for the receptivity until you feel that receptivity from your family members or anyone that you are hoping to advise or share or impart some wisdom or knowledge that you've learned. Lay the information out in front of them and then back away. Detach from it. Have no emotional connection to the information, because the information comes from a source. It's not yours. You don't own it. Therefore, it doesn't matter if it's not received. It is not attached to your self-worth. It is not even part of your identity. It is simply information coming from either the living library of the planet or the cosmic wisdom. It's coming through you, and you're choosing to express it out into the space around you. And hopefully, as it's coming through you, you're understanding it and you're integrating it, and it's encouraging or causing an increase, an expansion in your consciousness. And so you recognize the beauty of it, the gold, the magnificent feeling of having this knowledge and understanding integrate inside of you, the bliss, the ecstasy, the groundedness, the real empowerment that comes from that, the heart expansion that comes from that, the sensitivities and the psychic awarenesses that come from that. These are all fantastic and wonderful things, and you can share these with your family. But don't assume they will have the same experience. Do not assume that they will have the same understanding or that they will perceive or receive the information in the same way that you did. Just lay it out for them. Have no attachment to how it's received. That's my advice for you. It's my personal advice for you. It's a method I've been using for some time, and it really helps. I used to be quite self-righteous. About 10 years ago, I was still doing this work and working a lot as a clinical hypnotherapist, and for most of my life, I've been a leader and a way shower with this kind of stuff. It's part of why I've come to the planet. So I've known this for a long time, and I can share with you that within my own family, I've been not waiting, but sharing little bits here and there and holding space for the time when my family were ready to receive the information that they know I have. And that has happened in the last year or so. Some of my family members have come to me and have asked me for my advice and assistance, and have recognized that over these years, I have gathered information that is really important and helpful to be understood right now on the planet at its current state. And so I can share with you that if you just hold steady, stay in loving awareness with yourself as well, stay as compassionate as you can with your family and friends. Continue just sharing the information again when it's willing to be received, when there is receptivity for it. No point sharing information when there's resistance. It'll get wasted. The energy of it will get skewed and essentially tainted in its clarity and wisdom. So wait for the receptivity. Lay it down in front of them. Know that at some point they will come to you and want to know more. Okay, so I appreciate you in this role. Thank you for choosing this role as well. It's a big one. And I'm really glad that there are many of us doing this now. Many, many hearts make much lighter work and much lighter energy here on the planet. So, yeah, hold steady. Okay, so wonderful. I have personally been, clearing some epic foundational beliefs over the full moon period. I'm talking a deeper level of my template constructed just throughout childhood. Clearing that template has changed so many things for me, and I encourage you at the moment, if you are feeling the call to go and dive as deep as you can inside of yourself, courageously moving into these shadow spaces. Do not do it alone. Get your support system in place, both from spirits and from humans if you can. Get yourself set up with some support systems. You are not doing this alone. There is an infinite amount of support right now, both above and below, for us to be really resetting our foundational belief systems. And I can tell you that once you have done that, things change in a most wonderful, delightful way, and sovereignty returns. And you are able to make a choice about who you want to be in the world. Releasing fear, from inside of you, releasing the templates that were set up from a fear-based paradigm is the most important thing that you can be doing right now. Far more important than taking any actions that are external, that are working outside of yourself. The absolute most important thing you can be doing is actioning exactly what I've spoken about in your internal landscape. Okay, good. I don't want to speak too much more about that. This week we have been asked some questions, so I have some questions for Spirit this week, and I'm just going to share them with you now. The question is around the timelines. Have the timelines settled on the planet? As we all know, all the timelines were kind of disrupted in a wonderful way. Have the timelines settled is the question. When will full disclosure be upon us? And the question was also kind of along the lines of, how long do we need to sort of hold the fort for before full exposure happens? And I want to say, the majority of the planet kind of all wakes up. And let's just say, more than wakes up, I'm going to be a little more specific, activates their heart, awakens their heart space, particularly the higher heart space, the xiphoid. Okay, the unity space, wonderful. Okay, thank you. So they are pretty keen to speak with us now. I can feel that coming. So let's get to it. Okay, delightful. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle a wee bit. Sorry, I'm not quite comfortable. It's important that I'm comfortable. I can stay in a little bit longer if I just get really comfy. Okay, I'll just keep shuffling. Okay, and I'm just going to, thank you. Welcome any being who would like to speak with me today, who would like to speak through me today in order to communicate with us. We have some specific questions. We would love to get some clarity and also any guidance on the questions that I have just put to you. Anyone who has positive information, appropriate intentions for right now, right here in this moment, in the current state of consciousness on the planet, in order to contribute in the very best way that we can. I'd love to speak with you, and I'm willing for you to speak through me. Thank you. Every day in every way, we are creating the timelines. And when I say we, I mean not only you, but also us. But more importantly, we wish to say you. You are creating the timelines every day in every way. So when we hear a question like, have the timeline settled? Well, the question that we pose to you is, have the timeline settled within your own consciousness, within your own psyche? Have you decided who you want to be? Have you settled who you are in the new world? Have you cleared away the debris of the past world? Have you removed the fear inside of you? Have you activated your heart space? Have you awakened your mind? Are you constantly realigning your head and heart into a state of coherence and congruence so that you can continue to create your own world? You know and understand that you are in a holographic universe and that you are creating your reality in every moment as you move forward. So when you ask us about timelines, what we want to ask you is, have you set up your own timeline? Because what is occurring right now is that the slate has been clean, let's say. Yes, many of the timelines have been cleared and clean, and part of why the timelines have been cleared and cleaned is so that you can restore your sovereignty and your autonomy and your empowerment, and also to understand your magnificence and your skills and your power at creating your own reality moment to moment. So we encourage you to not give your power away by assuming that we have set the timelines for you, because this is in no way the case. You are setting the timelines in every moment with your thoughts, with your mental protections, with your actions, with your choices. And we hope that we are being very clear on this matter. Now, as far as the disclosure that you will speak of, we understand what it is that you are asking. And it is, however, not information that can be revealed right now, because what is necessary to come to the light in order to move forward, let's say, in the evolution of the human consciousness and also the planet itself. What is necessary in order for this to continue moving forward in your evolutionary state as gracefully as possible is for you to continue exposing yourself, continue being transparent, continue understanding yourself in a way that allows you to be more authentic, to be more transparent, to share more and more parts of yourself with the world, the full expanse and breadth and depth of who you are. The more transparent you can be with those around you, those outside of you, the more transparent the rest of the world will become. And we are just waiting for the body to return to a state of harmony before we continue. So just one moment. I've just been obviously clearing a lot of stuff out of my chest and my throat. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just gonna. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Now we understand the intentions of what you have asked. We are understanding the energy of what it is that you are seeking when you ask the question of when will full disclosure be revealed. Is there a timeline for such a thing? And again, we wish to say that there is not a timeline for such a thing, but we are moving to the right word. Let's say we are shining the light. What we want to say to you as fast as we can, even though we find that quite funny. We want to say to you, as efficiently as we possibly can, we are illuminating all spaces so that transparency can be achieved on this planet. But it is an evolutionary process. We are preferring to describe this as an evolution rather than a revolution. And this is a revolutionary time, but it is an evolutionary process that has been in play for many years, and it will continue being in play for some time. And so again, we are simply asking you to continue to be transparent with yourself, facing the things about yourself that you are ignoring, noticing, lovingly paying attention to the things about yourself that you are hiding and that are still within the illusionary perspectives that have been played out so strongly on this planet. So again, we are really wanting you to continue to take full responsibility, continue to turn the responsibility back onto yourself, because the more of you that are bringing the responsibility back onto yourself, the more change is going to take place. That is an inspirational energy. Telling other people what they should be doing and how they should be living is not an inspirational energy. Acting, embodying that way of living is an inspirational energy that radiates out into the spaces around you, and this is what will get the job done. So we are inviting you to cease for a while trying to find differences. Stop trying to find what is wrong with other people. Stop trying to find someone to blame. Stop trying to find someone else outside of yourself to put your attention and energy into for now. Dig inside of yourself to seek and find the spaces within you that are calling to be made conscious, to be illuminated, to be brought into the sun, to be burned into the fire, whatever process that you wish to use in order to do this. Go gently, go swiftly, go continuously. You will know when it is time to action, and yes, it will feel as if the revolution has truly begun, but it is not quite time yet for that. You will, however, know when it is time to come out and take a stand for that which you believe in the public eye. For now, we are inviting you to take a stand with yourself, to stand next to yourself, to consider where you are not harmonized, where you are not aligned with your own moral code, to consider if your moral code needs updating, knowing that your soul is not your moral code, that it is a choice that you make. Consider if the way that you move through the world needs updating. Consider, if you so choose, how you can be of better service to the pure, divine, harmonized, electric, dynamic, eccentric, light, color, particular sound frequency that is your unique expression as you exist on the planet Earth in your current physical condition. First, master being yourself. Once you feel as if you have some sense of mastery of the self, of understanding who you are, go deeper. Become an expert at being yourself. Once you have determined who that is and you feel as if you are an expert at being yourself, go a little deeper. Pay closer attention. Now is the opportune time to do this, and soon, it will be time for you to stand next to one another and to speak of justice, to speak of equality, to work and take action for the peaceful reunification of all life forms on the planet, not just humans, but all life forms. We also invite you to look at where you are separate from Mother Nature, where you are separate from the animals around you, from the trees, from the plants, from the air, from the wind, from the fire, from the waters. Connect deeper with these elements, with these life forces. Focus your energy and attention on connecting deeper with these expressions of pure source divine energy in order to help you to stay sustained, to stay refiring up your own energy centers so that you are no longer seeking power from outside of yourself. Be aware that it is easy to be tricked by the ego as it is seeking for power from outside of thyself. Be aware that those of you who are leaders and teachers of others often get tricked from the ego, and what you think is loving advice or assistance is an unconscious method of seeking and sourcing power from others. The ego can be very, very tricky. And right now, yes, you are in a way being tested because you are very much at the point where you are absolutely ready to learn the difference between what comes from love and what comes from fear, what comes from the heart space and what comes from ego. And we are going to take a moment to just clear this. Oh, yeah, cool. Thank you. As I allow that to be cleared, that tickle in my back of my throat, they were letting me see and feel I want to say the connection between the spaces around me or the nature that's around me, but connection is not a strong enough word. I want to say like intrinsic, inevitable merging of energies. It's like they showed me dissolve into the space around me, and then they showed the trees and the life force around me dissolve into me. And this is creating a sense of deep, deep safety within me, and holding and support. It's as if the concept of being alone is something I don't connect with or understand now. I feel as if when I want to know what it is to be grounded or stable, I can just ask this tree. Or if I want to know how to be more malleable and fluid, I can not even speak to the wind. That actually feels like too much effort. I can just be the wind. I can merge with it and experience that. If I want to remember what it is to just be light and warmth, I can just immerse myself, dissolve into the sun, or let the sun dissolve into me. It just seems so simple all of a sudden, so easy. Thank you for that. It's beautiful. Okay, I have a reminder here, again, continually from custodians of Earth to, yes, continue deepening your connection. But again, the word connection feels, it feels like shallow, it feels superficial now. So instead of connection, we are talking merging, unification, oneness, wholeness, with the elements around you, with nature around you. Now, those of you, thank you, those of you who are unable to actually be outside, the suggestion here for you is to take yourself into the inner spaces. If you need to put on sounds of nature in order to help you to just drop into that space, use your imagination, use visualization in order to travel in your mind to your favorite nature spaces now. Thank you. Okay, and I'm just going to see if there's any more advice about how to navigate. Thank you, particularly for those of us who are really aware of some of the darker things, so to speak, that are going on in the planet, and sometimes find this quite difficult to deal with as the information comes out. We understand it is quite difficult to accept and okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Yes, and this too is an opportunity for those of you, if you like, we're going to use the word again, a test. We are not particularly favourable of this word, but we understand that it has an understanding for you that you can relate to. And so yes, in many ways, the test is also coming as to how harmonised can you stay within inside of yourself. How much can you realign and reharmonise your head and heart, your mind, with your divinity inside of you. How responsible are you for maintaining and sustaining your own warmth, your own sunniness, your own expression of love, your own feeling of pure, comfortable, safe, hopeful, faithful, clear, divine love, knowing that you are in the midst of a very great and grand transformation, and that when you are on the ground, you are sometimes in the middle of the battle. And can you be in the middle of the battle and still feel at peace with yourself? Can you be in the middle of the war and still find something to feel joyful about? Can you be on the ground in the middle of the greatest storm on the planet and still find beauty here. And we continue to say this to you, find beauty. That is the very best way that you can navigate this time. Those of you who are already understanding and already have and accept the information that you have already integrated and leveled up, so to speak. The very best thing for you to do right now in regards to the changes going on outside you, apart from what has already been shared, has already been shared around family connections and around laying information out and not being attached to how it is received or whether or not it is received by other people. The very best thing that you can do is to continue to find beauty, recognize beauty, point it out, reflect it, talk about it, pay attention to it. And we really want to say no more about that because we wish to keep it very simple and very clear for you. Yes, there are many beautiful Indigenous, Aboriginal Indigenous and star beings here right now in this space, and there's a lot of them surrounding me, and they are pouring these intentions into me, and they are then pouring through my heart into you. And they are a real collection of all of the things that we've just said, and also a real appreciation for all of us for doing this wonderful work. There's so much more to be shared. Tikina tutalaka. Puanala kutikala bumakalata. Khashniki pomala fortalapo. Bimila pamala puakana tala. Nikhshnikalo puchikala. Amuanala kata. Kumula pana tikina. Ka toni likishni anasitiko pamala kanati kila tokini lipichi. Wala shniku moa pomaka botni tikalana ta anamola pomanlikinata. Guamo prala kamontini lipona kalapo butinkala. Ano malatim. Mupambanuka Hanula Tinikalapant Pronatata Kunala a lot of energy moving around my brain. Oh, okay. Beautiful ones, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the work, for paying attention, for listening to yourself, for choosing to contribute in the very best way that you can right now, and for doing the brave thing and continuing to stay open and receptive as more and more is revealed on the planet. And yeah, thank you for doing the work, beautiful ones. I love you so much. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, please feel free to send me a message or leave a comment. If you'd like to know more about me, you can visit my website, elizakendall.com. And if you'd like to do any work with me, that'd be wonderful. Okay. See you next week.